3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Monroe Mann, joined again by Miss Emily Appel. Break Diving Live. Today we're going to be talking about taking things day by day, refinding your identity, and what was the other thing I said? Hoping for the best. And I asked Emily if she was in a cheerleader outfit, but apparently it's just a tank top.
Yeah, just my day-to-day shirt, no sleeves today.
Just a day-to-day shirt. Were you ever a cheerleader?
No, not at all. Ballet dancer, yes, but cheerleader,
Yeah,
no.
okay, very cool.
Yeah.
And for those wondering why I'm in this suit and tie, I just went on another job interview today, and as you must do once you get out of college, you have to get into the grind of
Yeah.
finding some way to provide for yourself.
I've got a career fair coming up as well, so
What's going to
fingers
happen at the
crossed.
career fair?
Just a lot of recruiters end up coming into like a no into a big auditorium space where they'll set up their little podiums and everyone will be able to meet with the recruiter and speak for a moment.
Oh, that's actually very nice.
Definitely nice.
We
There's a
have to go
lot
to
of
the
people there.
podium. I mean, you have to go and give a little speech to each person, or is
Mm,
it more like a table?
yeah, I suppose it's more like a table. Definitely they have like their setup with their flyers. Some of them will have trifolds so that you can see information about them. But it's just like tabling, very similar.
Okay, that's very cool.
Mhm.
As an update, we have only 240 watch hours to go. I am pleasantly surprised because about 6 weeks ago I was starting to give up, and I was thinking maybe it's not going to happen and all of our watch time is going to disappear. But everybody has come through,
That's
and
awesome.
we're getting about 20 to 30 watch hours every day from
That's
people.
great. Yeah.
So this is really good. We're still in September, and as I mentioned, the watch time is going to start to drop off around October 21st, and it's not even October yet, and we only need 240 hours to go. And so I feel like in 2 days it'll be less than 200 hours, and I think that's the home stretch. And
Yeah. No, fingers crossed that we'll make it to the very end. I know I've been having my boyfriend put like the YouTube on and he has two computers, so the one at home is always playing the stream.
that's good. I honestly don't. For all the people who tell me, and I'm assuming everyone's telling the truth. For all the people who are saying that they're watching, you would think we would have 200 watch hours per day. I
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe YouTube is only so keeping a short a small percentage of everybody's hour. I don't
Yeah.
know how they're doing it, or but we're getting there. So whatever everybody's doing, just keep doing it. Thank you for your watch time. We are making
Yeah.
progress.
I know that like sometimes it'll pause out or like it'll stop playing whenever I haven't moved around the screen for a little bit. So sometimes things like that.
That's what I'm thinking. I think if people are just watching it passively and the phone isn't moving, maybe
Mhm.
it only counts for 10% rather
Yeah.
than full time. Like right now, you can see the phone is moving. So
Mhm.
I don't know, but hey, every minute is adding up, and maybe we get 20 hours a day from lots of 3 minutes from various people. Who knows? Who
Mhm.
knows? All right. So our three topics, initial topics, as I mentioned today, is taking everything day by day. Number two was hoping for the best, and three, refining your identity. And
Mhm.
I think I posted a video, a short here on YouTube last week about taking things day by day. And my friend reminded me of that and saying the secret to happiness is not thinking too much into the past and not thinking too far into the future. And
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's incredibly difficult to just be in the moment. And how do you fare trying to just look at things literally just today?
I think I definitely struggle in the sense that I tend to be a future thinker and I'll definitely uh, proactively try to make decisions, but ultimately I end up stressing myself out a bit more than I should. But that does remind me, like what you were saying, of a quote from Kung Fu Panda. Actually, Master Oogway goes, "The past is history, the future is a mystery, and the present is a gift. And I really did like that quote whenever I watched the movie, and a friend reminded me of it more recently, and I remembered it after that because it really is a beautiful colloquialism.
So the past is history, the future is a
A
mystery,
mystery,
and today is a gift. I,
and
I
present is a gift.
or the present is a gift.
Yeah.
I can relate to the first two aspects of it. The other part is so I don't know. I find that difficult to think of the present as a gift and like, oh my gosh, I am so some people. I don't know if people who believe that are really they really believe it, or do they just delude themselves into believing that, oh my gosh, I was reading this book by Damon John. He's one of the Shark Tank guys, and he did an
Mhm.
interview with Carlos Santana, who's he's the singer guitarist from Santana.
Mhm.
And Santana was saying, the first thing I do in the morning, even before I open my eyes, is just breathe it all in, and I'm so grateful that I have another day on this planet. And I would love to be that person.
To wake up like that, yeah.
And I just don't do it. I wake up and go, ugh, here I am once again. Let's do the best we can. Do you when you wake up in the morning? How do you feel? Is it oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It's a gift. This is amazing. Or is it, oh God, life sucks. What am I doing here? Or is it somewhere in the middle?
I think it's definitely something in the middle. It depends on what I'm working on at the time. My sorry for the my emotions or my mood is very much so connected to whatever project I'm working on because I have ADHD, so I enter flow whenever I'm doing a project. I'll either not be working on it at all or I'll be working on it 8 hours straight. And there
Hmm.
tends to not really be an in between. So this morning I found myself really excited to start working on a project. I have a school assignment where we're being tasked for this entire semester to build a website, and I'm personally in charge of the design and the asset creation for it. So I'm very excited to get the asset creation out of the way because it's an opportunity for me to unleash more of my artist side and also create something that is more cohesive than I have in the past because of the classes that I'm taking right now. I find myself integrating a lot of that information to my creation process. So it has been really exciting and has made me more excited to get up in the morning. But there definitely are days where I've been working very late and it's not a good day to.
I I don't know if it's a function of my age and the fact that I have tried harder than most people over multiple domains over the last 25 years. When I was your age, a lot of people thought I was extremely cocky, but
Mhm,
that's because I was so certain of my future superhero status.
mhm,
I just knew that I was going to be an Oscar winner. I knew that I was going to be a millionaire before I was 30. I just knew. I just knew. And because of that, very little got me down.
mm,
And I didn't care about anything because I knew I was right and the world just hadn't discovered me yet. But just
mhm,
keep going because Monroe's destiny is greatness. And I'm
mhm,
47 now, and I've done some impressive things, and people are proud of me and try to remind me, Monroe, you've actually done more than most people in a lifetime, than most
mhm,
people have done in two lifetimes, whatever. But I'm exhausted and I'm tired, and I still have hope, but I don't know. But at the same time, but I know that there are other people who are your age who feel the way that I do now.
mhm.
So it's not necessarily a function of age,
Yeah,
because there are people who are struggling at your age to
definitely.
to find their, and this is why I go back to the day by day thing, and it makes sense. Like you said, you get into your head too much. You start, if we can just 99.99% of us at any given moment are doing just fine.
Yeah,
right now we're doing just fine. We're in air conditioning. We're both in Florida. We're having an interesting time. We've got 3 people watching because we're one of the biggest YouTube channels on the planet. So the 3 of you watching, you're a part of history. You guys are 30. Oh, 50. Now we're down to 2. You
Oh,
guys are the
wow,
2
okay.
most important people. Uh, but it is hard. As easy it is to say yes, don't think about the past, and don't worry about the future. I mean, if you sat down and talked with your little kung fu panda friend, I think he would agree it's very difficult. It's easy to say,
Yeah.
it's hard to do. And I think maybe it's easier when you're in college, and this is not a blanket statement, but when you're
Mhm,
in college, when you don't have a job yet, and when
mhm,
your parents are able to support you, or you're using student loans or this or that, and you have stresses,
mhm.
but I don't think you have any idea what's in store for you when you get out of school. Maybe the first year is fine, maybe the second year after, but when you get out and you realize this is the rest of my life, is the grind.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing, and that's why I'm trying to remind myself day by
Yeah.
day. Because again, right now, even though my life didn't turn out exactly as I expect, I don't think life's turned out how anyone really maybe expected it. For some people, I'm sure it has, but
Mhm,
life isn't terrible.
mhm.
You gotta. I guess this is also going back to the idea of being grateful.
Yeah, I think that also connects to the message that came from Kung Fu Panda. That movie has a lot of basis and foundation in Buddhist ideology and Asian culture and religion,
Hmm.
where they practice the idea of the opposite of consumerism, where it's we're letting go of our material things and learning to accept our life for what it is, and what we create is not what defines us, and what the world thinks of us is also not what defines us. So definitely some interesting ideologies that differ a whole lot from what we're taught from a young age here in America, that I think honestly indoctrinate us to work harder and to enter that grind. We have to. It's not a choice really, and it is very frustrating to understand that it's exciting to be here and, like, learn and think that I'll be able to do all these fun things, but yes, the reality is that the world is very cruel and that our society is not sunshine and rainbows, but being able to separate yourself a little bit sometimes from the reality of situation, and come to acceptance with the world in general. Sometimes just taking a hike or going to the gym and being with yourself in the moment can make the world of difference.
Mhm. You had a
I
lot of
hope.
good points, and
Yeah.
I, I, a couple of them jumped out at me, but I can't remember because then I was just listening.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, of course.
trying to think what was how did you start
I
oh, you're talking
began
about.
the Asian culture and
Oh
how
yeah,
that
Asian
yeah, that
culture. Yeah,
movie is
yeah.
founded in Asian culture in its ideologies and practices, how they're very different from American practices and what we teach our children to value from a
At
young
this, but
age.
at the same time, I mean, South Korea has one of the highest suicide rates in the world
Yeah, yeah.
because, and Asian culture in general, they put so much. I agree with you. You know, I lived in China,
Yeah.
and there's so much I like about it. But at the same time, even in China, the parents put such.
A
I feel
huge
like
pressure
I
too.
feel like
Yeah,
there's too much
totally.
pressure on Asians kids, and there's not enough pressure on American kids. And so I feel like a lot of American kids don't have the guidance that they need. They
Yeah.
don't have the chutzpah or the drive, the motivation to go out and believe in themselves. Whereas the Asian kids grow up thinking, if I don't get straight A's, and if I do anything to jeopardize the reputation of the family, which could mean I'm going to go to college in the United States, and many
Mhm.
Asian families go, no, 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 you need to stay here. You need to do
Mhm.
this, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Um,
And
the
not even in just Asian culture, that's definitely something that, like, I know my family I've experienced with just in Hispanic culture and, like, around around the globe, I do think that having a certain amount of respect for your family and being able to uphold the family values is definitely something that is common around the globe, not just within Asian culture.
I think that deserves a like, guys. So please double click the screen. Let's get 2 likes on the board.
Let's
Two
do it, you
likes on the
guys, come
board.
on.
Um, I think you said that the fact that we're too concerned with what society thinks, and yet a corollary to that is like I don't really care what other people think of me. So I
Mhm.
say. I feel like my bigger critic is me.
Is yourself,
What
yeah.
I think, and this kind of segues into what was the other topic of today was
Self-identity or
yeah,
discovering yourself.
refinding your identity.
Yeah.
And without getting into the details, maybe I'll share them some other time. But I had this identity of who I was going to be that
Mhm.
lasted until 2016.
Mhm.
And in 2016, that identity of me knowing that this is who I was going to be, and I was what? It was about 10 years ago, 11 years, no, 10 years ago, I was 37. That identity just disappeared.
Mhm.
And it's a hard thing. I mean, you have ideas. Thank you for the likes. Hey,
Thank you.
I see you make us feel like we're talking to real people and we're making a difference here at break diving. By the way, if you don't know, break diving means don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface. Dive in, make your own big breaks in life, and we can help you do that here by subscribing or download our mobile app on the App Store or Play Store, or join us at breakdiving.io. And what the heck was I saying? Because I can't even remember. Oh, refinding your identity.
Yes.
Even you have an identity that is fueled by who you think you're going to be.
Mhm.
And part of Buddhism, since you
Mhm,
mentioned that
yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
one of the things I really like about Buddhism is talking about number one, acknowledging that all of life is struggle,
Mhm.
meaning stop complaining that life is tough and life is a struggle. Yes, like that's it. You figured it
Yeah.
out. It's not supposed to be puppies and kittens and roses and just easy street.
Mhm.
But if that is, why do we have that struggle? And in Buddhism, as far as I understand, it talks about it's our attachment
Mhm.
to things, to people, to
Mhm.
identities, to the way that we thought things were going to work out.
Mhm.
And I'm always torn with I mean, if you take Buddhism to its utmost expression, you will have no friends.
You'll be a monk.
Yeah,
A silent monk.
but yeah, you'd be a silent monk living in a monastery of your own.
Yes.
I mean, even monks have attachment because they have other monks,
Yeah.
and
No, definitely.
and they have attachment to their non-attachment, or whatever you want, however you want to put it. I just met somebody recently who went to India and was a monk for 2 years and
Wow.
couldn't deal with it. And the
Interesting.
non-attachment was so. I mean that any extreme is always going to be.
That's what I was gonna say. I think that taking anything to an extreme is never really gonna give you balance. You're never gonna find that balance or inner peace is what I would like to say by going to one or the other extreme. I think a lot of people also turn to religion with this idea that there's this perfect text that's gonna teach them how to be the perfect person or how they're gonna be the best version of themselves, when in reality, that's something that you have to discover for yourself, and I do like religion, but I definitely seek to learn from all religions and what they truly deem to teach and preach. I think that the way I carry myself is by just go what goes around comes around.
Mhm.
Therefore, like helping other people, volunteering for nonprofits, creating software that helps other people versus exploiting them.
So
These things,
I
like, yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying those things are I find to be beneficial for society. Therefore, I think they also fulfill me as a person.
So that's not, this idea of karma, what goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Again, everything is colored by my age, and not necessarily the age, but how, like, I always believe that too, that what goes around comes around, and your you get out what you put in. Even on breakdiving.io, on the homepage, we have I and O in different colors, and we put what you get out of your life is is dependent on what you put in.
Mhm.
And I do believe that. At
Mhm.
the same time, I'm human and I'm not a robot, and I can see the varying colors in anything I believe. If what goes around comes around and good things happen to good people, and by helping other people you're going to help yourself, which I still believe, why hasn't, and I'm not asking for the answer, we're just talking, well, it's more rhetorical, why hasn't breakdiving taken off like a rocket? Why am I not a
Yeah.
millionaire now? Why don't I have like 10 different successful businesses where I have given more of myself and my time to help other people? But I don't feel like it's come back to me. I don't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I helped all of these people. I've spent even the last 10 years of my life devoting myself to break diving to help.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I'm rejected from grants left and right over the years, volunteers coming and going, coders coming and going, and struggling with the finances of the company. And
Mhm.
it's hard. I still go. I'm the little engine that could, and I keep pushing forward, and I find that little seed of hope that keeps going. But it's annoying. It's
Mhm.
extremely annoying, and I want to look at things through your 21-year-old eyes, 23-year-old eyes,
20.
20, your 20-year-old eyes, and be the Monroe man I was when I was a junior in college. And like, oh my gosh, the world is my oyster, and I am going to dominate it. And there are other people. There are millions of people who believe that. And I'm reading so many of these. I always read self help books and
Mhm.
biographies of people, and the people who end up writing these books about business success,
Mhm.
they are usually people who had successful businesses.
Mhm.
And the more I'm reading like this book again, this book Rise and Grind by Damon John, and it echoes what it talked about in that book, The Science of Scaling, which we
Mhm.
talked about. And his in Science of Scaling, it says you need to find your, I forget the name, but find somebody who is going to champion your
Mhm.
business. And he writes about that same concept in his book, where one of the people from, was it Shark Tank, or anyway, one entrepreneur found somebody who latched onto the idea. Oh, the founder of LegalZoom. Maybe you've heard of
Mm.
that website.
I don't think so.
So it's a self-service website, more or less, where you can go on and get a will very easily, uh,
Hmm.
get do a trademark search very easily, this and that. And it was a way for people to very easily. It was like a cookie cutter model to make legal services more affordable.
Mhm.
And the reason it took off is he got in touch with a very famous attorney who worked on O.J. Simpson's case.
Mm. Was
And
it Robert,
yes,
the father of the Kardashians? I remember.
Robert. Yeah, Robert.
Kardashian.
Oh no, but that's not his name. His first name is
Yeah,
Robert.
it's Robert Kardashian, I believe.
No, so let me see if I can find. No, I'm looking. This is not the right book. Where the heck is that? Here it is. Now I'm. Oh, Robert Reich, I think.
Right. Oh.
Robert Reich, but maybe they both worked on it.
Maybe.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure because I remember watching a docu-series on the O.J. Simpson trials, so I vaguely remember that.
And
Am I frozen, by the way?
no,
Okay, good.
you are not. Let me just. Is this guy here? And yeah, I mean, yeah, here it is. I here. Oh, and he talks about how Damon John. By the way, if you guys are wondering who that is, maybe you'll recognize his face. This guy
Mhm.
from Shark Tank. It says one of the biggest challenges facing innovators like Brian is getting people to understand their product or service, and that makes sense. We're talking about breakdiving. It's there. It's already available. How do we
Mhm.
get people? But before they can even understand what you're trying to sell them, you have to be on their radar. That's the
Mhm.
great hurdle we faced back when we were launching Fubu. We could have the
Mhm.
hottest designs, but if people weren't aware of our clothes, we were nowhere. In our case,
Mhm.
we were able to chase down LL Cool J, who is also from Hollis, Queens. LL Cool J,
Yeah, I recognize that name.
and yeah, it's Mama said knock you out. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I think
knock you
so.
out. You know that song? And he said once LL, we got in touch with LL Cool J, who was already a superstar. Once he started wearing our stuff, people started to notice. And Brian knew that if he and the other Brian wanted to drive people to their service, they needed a celebrity spokesperson. Oh, Robert
Mm.
Shapiro.
Oh, Shapiro. Okay, there we go.
That's who it was.
That sounds
And
better.
so the lesson was that is if you really want your company to grow, you need to find a champion. And like these books make it seem like, oh, that's the solution. But to get somebody to
Sponsor you,
sponsor
essentially.
you, it's not just, oh, pick up the phone and call. And the Tony Robbins thing is not a new. I mean, I've done this with men like over the last 20 years. I've reached out to. I remember I met Ed Norton once,
Yeah.
the actor, and I was in New York City, and I went to a bar, and I looked to the right, and he's sitting right next to me. And I said, "Wow, Ed Norton." He goes, "Yeah, how's it going? This and that." And again, I was right there, had him, and this was when I was writing my very first book, The Theatrical Juggernaut,
Mhm.
Psyche of the Star, and I was looking to have a celebrity write the introduction to every single chapter, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, here's my chance to get one." And he was a little bit standoffish, and he said, "Here, get in touch with my agent." He gave me his agent's phone number. This was before the internet,
Mhm.
and that was a huge thing to get his agent's phone number.
Mhm.
And then it ended up a subway went by in New York City and it flew out of my hand and it, and it
No.
and it flew down into the subway tracks. Long story, I got it back, but that's like a story for a movie
Oh
one
my
day.
goodness.
And
Wow.
and I was like, I see it going up in the air, just like in the movie. No,
I can
no.
imagine the movie scene. Oh my goodness.
And I know he's right, and the science and that science of scaling guy is right,
Mhm.
but it's not easy, and a lot of it comes down to dumb luck.
Mhm.
And I could reach out to 10,000 celebrities, and all 10,000 could still say not interested.
Yeah.
Or one person could randomly just call up somebody, or randomly run into somebody on the street, like I did with Ed Norton in the bar, and it
Mhm.
just works. And
Mhm.
it's weird to think that I there's a book called the I think it's like the luck. It's called The Luck Factor.
Mhm.
Really good book. You should read it. And it
Yeah.
basically talks about there are certain qualities that lucky people have, quote unquote, that those who are not lucky don't have.
Mhm.
And so I know there are certain things you can do to increase your likelihood of things happening,
Interesting.
but it doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen. And that's
Mhm.
going back to this idea of refinding your identity because you can the truth is and it's hard to swallow but now that I'm 47 and I've been pushing for multiple entrepreneurial successes and now it's 10 years with breakdiving it could be 2035 and breakdiving hasn't changed much.
Mhm.
It's a scary thought but I think I've learned over the years I used to think I was unstoppable completely in my 20s.
Mhm.
Now I know I'm stoppable. And I think
Yeah.
that's a tough pill to swallow because anyway, I've been talking for a little bit. What are
No,
some thoughts
yeah.
going
I
through your
think
mind?
that thought process is definitely something I've thought about as my sister goes to law school. She wants to study human rights law,
Hmm.
law and as you know, the current legal situation for the United States human rights law has definitely gone on the down, and many of the Department of Justice lawyers have left. So, what once used to be a pathway for her to becoming successful lawyers definitely getting closed off. And even within the United Nations attorneys, their bureaucracy is so heavy and so intense that you don't really get to make as much impact as you would like.
Hmm.
So it really is a struggle to just want to help people. My sister wants to create legislation that will give people more rights and take power away from these corporations, but unfortunately they have interwoven themselves so much into our government and our systems that it has become almost impossible to do that. So it definitely is a constant challenge and struggle for her whole career that that is like something that she's going to constantly have to fight. And I think that that definitely is like a reality check for me as well, because when I was younger and she had just come out of college, she had learned about all of these systemic injustices and problems, and she was telling me about them, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, we got to change everything. This is so messed up. I can't believe that this is in our legislation."
Hmm.
And she was in agreement with me, of course. That's what inspired her to go become a human rights attorney. And now that she's in law school, like, seeing all these barriers and actually having to go and try to fight these companies is proven to be much more difficult than what the aspirations are.
I think your sister's revelation of the fact that, and this is what I'm talking about. Once you get out into the real world, and by the way, to all you guys watching, this is meant to be inspiring.
Mhm.
And you shouldn't be taking from what we're saying that it's useless to pursue a dream, and you're gonna fail. And the older you get, the more depressed and disillusioned you become. That's not what we're saying. I'm just trying to let all of you know, and your sister as well, and you. That's us, SF Kim.
Hello, SF Kim.
First comment of the day
If
of
you
the
can
live
give us a
stream.
like as well, we would greatly
That's right. Give us
appreciate
a
it.
like. Double click the screen. You're gonna encounter serious obstacles in life, and some of them are of your own doing. Some of them are not of your doing,
Mhm.
and the world is, as Emily said before, the world is what it is.
Yeah.
And Emily's sister is realizing her childlike wonder and hope of changing the world, it's not going to be as easy as, and politically I don't align with Hillary Clinton, but I relate with her because she has to refine her identity. I don't know if she's written a autobiography or anything yet, but I want to read it if she ever does, because and I'm even inclined to read Kamala Harris's,
Mhm.
but not so much Kamala Harris's because that's a different story. I mean, Hillary Clinton was, she had this in her for decades. I
Mhm.
am going to be the president of the United States, and I think we you knew that. You could
Mhm.
feel that that was where her life was headed in her mind,
Mhm.
and it didn't happen.
Mhm.
And I would like to talk with her, or I hope that maybe she has an interview in some point where she tells us how did you and not politically. I don't care about the politics. I care about the psychology aspect of how did you redefine your identity. How, I mean,
Yeah.
she's got to feel horrible, and
Yeah.
and and I almost feel like I wish she didn't have such a desire to become a president since she was a kid. I think she said that like when I was a kid or something. I wanted to be president. Maybe that was Kamala Harris. I don't know, but she she clearly wanted it for a really long time, and everyone kind of fed into her. I don't
Mhm.
want. When I say delusion, I don't mean that in a negative way because I have delusions that break diving is going to be a big success. I have
Well, we
delusions
could
that
say aspiration instead of delusion.
I say delusion in a because you need to convince yourself.
Mhm.
Like anyone who thinks that he or she's going to be president is crazy.
Mhm.
I mean, there are not many chances. It's very unlikely that anybody becomes president, and it's
Mhm.
very unlikely for. I mean, for many things in life, but certainly when there's only how many have we had? 40. What are we on? 44? Is Donald Trump
Yeah, of course.
44?
SF Kim is asking what the conversation is about.
We're talking about dreams and redefining your identity when a particular dream doesn't manifest the way that you thought. and we're talking about how society puts pressure on us to do certain things. We put pressure on ourselves. As I said, Hillary Clinton, me with I want break diving, this channel and this company. By the way, SF Kim, if you haven't, download our mobile app called Break Diving from the App Store, Play Store. We'd love you to join us. It's hard when you pursue a dream with such fervent enthusiasm and
Mhm.
passion. And what did you say instead of delusion? What was your word?
Aspiration.
With such when you have such great aspirations for who you are and who you can become, it's difficult when you get older. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could be 20 years old, 30, 40, 50, whatever, and you start to realize, huh, it didn't work out as I had expected. And there are a rare few for
Mhm.
whom things happen every way that they expected. And for them, I don't know if I'm jealous of them or I pity them, because in some head I'm jealous because wow, things worked out for them, but I pity them because they don't understand the real world, where for
Yeah.
most people it's hard. It's
I
hard to
think that
go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say the whole idea of understanding the real world is definitely something that I consider when I think of privilege in America and how there are so many celebrity children or such a large wage gap where we truly do have our different classes living completely different lifestyles and completely different realities to the point where it's gotten so polarizing that they're just completely separate.
Do you again, not talking politics, but Ben
Yeah.
Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter just gave some speech at the UN. I don't know if you were aware of that.
No, I wasn't.
And there's a lot of talk about the fact that the only reason, and she's in college, she's your age
Yeah,
or
yeah.
younger, the only
The reason she's
reason
there
she
is because
is
of her
there is
network.
because she had famous
Parents.
parents
Yeah.
who gave her access to these connections. And I just imagine your sister. I don't know Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner's daughter, but I imagine your sister is smarter and or more capable than her, and yet your sister is struggling to make an impact. And here, this woman just sailed in, and
Yeah.
that's hard. It's hard to accept that and think, why? Again, the world is unfair,
Yeah,
but it's still like,
definitely.
ugh, why?
I
Why does
agree.
that person get to sail in and the rest of us have to struggle?
It's very frustrating, and I think that it definitely ties back to almost a historical struggle where this isn't something that only our generation has faced. This is something that has happened since kings and queens were a thing. The wealth gap has always been there, whether we give it a label or not, or whether we to see really how big it is. I think that within India, the caste system was so binding that you genuinely could not move since
Yeah, think
birth.
about that with those folks
That
in India,
yeah,
and literally you were born into your station in life, and it still exists to some extent, remnants of it, but it's certainly better than it was. But imagine that, listen, you were just that's it.
mhm.
Though there's that expression, rejoice, rejoice, you have no choice.
Mm.
And there is many studies have shown that people that grow up in third world countries where the economies are not as developed as ours are happier.
Mhm.
And in many ways, it's because they don't feel like they have as many options. So they're not stressed out as much and they're just grateful. That's great. I got some food on the table.
Yeah.
I got my mom and my dad, and the sun is shining. Hey, life is good. Meanwhile, we are miserable. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in traffic.
I can't
Oh,
believe I'm not a millionaire.
yes, I can't believe I'm. And I'm so. Why is break diving not a
Yeah,
huge thing yet? And meanwhile, in the eyes of many people, I'm a success because I'm able to pursue this dream of this entrepreneurial dream.
totally.
Where people in,
Yeah.
in other countries, they're just trying to literally get by,
Yeah,
just
and I
with
think that
sustenance.
that ties back to the whole idea of connecting back with yourself and letting go of the materialistic world in many ways because although it's very frustrating that I might not be able to reach some of the places that I might wanna get to purely because of a network, at the end of the day, I have great privilege, and I could acknowledge how hard, like, my family has worked just so that I could even get an education here or consider reaching those networks. So, there's
Yeah.
definitely gratefulness that I can find in that.
By the way, remind me if you can. I want to create break diving live events for gratitude, and for the whole
Totally,
hour, all
yeah.
we do is talk. Oh, something, guys, for all of you watching, we've all heard about it's great. It's good to have gratitude, but I read something recently that makes it work because too many people get into the rut of every. They say, "Oh, you should write a gratitude list of 5 things you're grateful for every day." But some people just write down what they're grateful for, such as the sun is shining, I have food, I have friends, I have my good health, and I have a place to live.
Mhm.
But that's missing the psychological key, which is
Mm.
I am grateful I have a place to live because you have to put the because there are other people who are living
Thank you,
on,
Rusty.
on gratitude for Moners and Emmers. What's up, Rusty? Good to have you. I forgot about our nicknames. Some because some people are living on the streets, or I am
Yeah,
grateful for my mom being alive because some people never even got to meet their mom. The idea is you want to make
because
sure that you put
yeah.
and because there. Otherwise, you're just writing things down. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful for Emily. No, I'm grateful for Emily because it's nice to have a co-host for these break diving live streams, and we connect with our audience, and we end up getting more subscribers, and it makes me feel good to be talking with somebody. But that now
Yeah,
that actually has a psychological boost
impact,
rather
yeah.
than, oh, I'm grateful for Emily. Big whoopsie do, unless you specify why you're
Yeah,
grateful for that. And that's another thing. If you ever want to say like if you send a Christmas card to someone, or a Thanksgiving card, or a birthday card,
because
include the because. I'm so
yeah,
happy you're my friend. Who cares? Because
yeah.
you were
No,
there for me
definitely.
in summer when this happened, and it was so nice that I was able to talk to you. It anchors that gratitude. Anyway, why did I start talking about gratitude?
I was talking about
Oh, we're talking about Africa, and then and we should be
yeah,
grounded and
third world
centered, and
countries and how we have great privilege to even just be living in America.
um, I, I instead of privilege, I like to just say some of us have luck. Some of us luck. It's so weird. I don't believe luck exists, and I do believe you create your own luck.
Mm.
But at the same time, at the end of the day, things happen.
Yeah.
Things
Well, I
happen
definitely
that,
think that there's like a historical the reason I use the word privilege is because there's historical connection to it in the sense of how I
like
was
kings
able
and
to
queens. Is
oh,
that what you
there's
mean?
even beyond that, like my family in Peru is definitely a higher class standing. Therefore, I was even able to get here. Like my mom was able to get here. That comes from them having had more money, but how did they get more money? There were definitely historical factors that happened there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I am more white presenting. There's definitely German blood within me. I'm more European than I am indigenous. And
Mm-hmm.
I know that the indigenous communities were very affected by Spanish
I'm
conquest.
more break divinous, and I
So
hope all of you are
I
very
use
break
that
divinous as
word to
well.
acknowledge the fact that it was not lucky. Well, it was lucky in a way, but it was also because there are
I,
injustices that people occurred so that I could have that luck.
oh, I see what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I acknowledge
I
their
guess
I acknowledge the people who weren't lucky is kind of how why I say the word.
I just I want our listeners or viewers to also realize, because of course break diving is about who cares who you are or where you grew up or your background. You can still improve your lives.
Yeah.
And so even though we're talking about the fact that sometimes we got bad luck, some of us have opportunities that are just given to us, where others have to really work hard, and maybe still don't get the opportunity, it doesn't mean we shouldn't keep trying, because somebody's got to win. and maybe it could
Mhm.
be you. I think Emily's reading Rusty's comment. I see her eyes looking down it.
Yeah, I was looking at
Read it out
also
loud.
no, the Gmail user, you gotta read out the Gmail user this time.
Oh, Gmail
That one's
user.
for you.
Oh my gosh, look at that. No, no, Emily's talking to you. You look
I'm
so
shaving
handsome.
apparently.
What shaver do you use for shaving? I use a. You know what? Let's go find out. I think I think it's a. Is it a Remington?
I'll
Let's
read
see.
out Rusty's comment while you find that.
It's a
Oh,
Norelco.
oh. Do you wanna hold it up maybe one more time? I don't know if well, that's alright.
Oh, oh, did
Mm,
somebody
it
want to
it was
see
a
it?
little it was a little blurry, which is why
Oh, wait here. Now you can see it.
Yeah, there you
Phillips
go, Morocco.
Norelco.
It's in the recording now if anyone wants to know.
And Rusty, mate, I'm grateful for Moners because of break diving and your forehead. Thank you. Yeah, I have the most famous forehead on YouTube. And thankful for Emmers because of her opportunity to taking up singing with your toneful and majestic. What does that have to do with you about singing?
I'm not sure.
Her opportunity to take up singing with your tone. Oh, he's saying because of your toneful and majestic voice, you have the opportunity to take up singing.
Oh,
And
I
he
see.
thinks that you'd probably be a good singer.
Oh,
So
thank you, Rusty.
I think that's how I interpret that. I'm grateful to you, Rusty, because you were a great friend and colleague in China. And to this day, we're still in touch 10 years later. And anytime I see anybody who reminds me of my time in Shanghai in 2014, it makes me happy. And you're always a good friend to cheer me up whenever I'm feeling down, and I appreciate that. And thank you, and I appreciate. I'm grateful for your support of breakdiving because as you know, it is not easy what I'm doing and what we're trying to do here to build it up, but you keep me. Keep me going. So nice. Is it a foil type or a rotor? This guy is
I
uh,
use the
I use a
vintage.
vintage double-edged safety razor to get the close shave, but it still is not as good as you. Oh, thank you very much. To be honest, I will tell you, I use a Harry's a not straight razor, but a normal razor as well. Once a week, I do a full shave with an actual blade because it gets closer than a electric razor ever will, and sometimes
Yeah.
it just feels good to just feel baby face. So,
I
so
gotta get my
Gmail user,
boyfriend
I
onto
hope
that.
I hope we're inspiring you to shave well and shave often. What did you say, Emily?
I said I gotta get my boyfriend onto the close shaving because he never gets it quite that well.
Again, it's.
Oh, which app can I download? The breakdiving mobile app.
Oh,
You should be
can
able
you
to just search
tell
breakdiving.
him a little bit about Emily?
Totally, yeah. We're a community where we build each other up, and you can apply for dives and show each other, everyone, what you've been working on or what you want to work on, and then also meet other people who are already in the community and ask for help.
And where can they find this app and what is it called?
On the Android Play Store, Google Play Store, or on the iOS Apple Store, and it'll be called Break Diving, Break Space Diving.
And it's BREAKDIVING. Just to be clear, it's already available.
Mhm.
And there's a new version coming out in about 2 weeks. Fingers crossed, I think, which will have some cool new features. So Gmail says thanks for the info. I will do it as well. You're welcome.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I,
Thanks, you
I'll tell
guys.
you this: different guys have different rates of hair growth speeds.
Interesting.
I am I'm blessed or cursed. It depends. I think I'm blessed because I don't like facial hair. I'm not a. I used to have a beard and a mustache, and I look really good in it. And everyone tells me I look like a GQ model when I have the beard and the mustache and it. But it itches like crazy. It gets
You're welcome, SF
I
Kim.
get stuck. This when I drink Coke, got sugar in there. So
Oh
I'm blessed
no.
that I don't have to shave that often, and it doesn't. And I don't have a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
And so some people have to shave twice a day where I could look like this for maybe 2 days.
Good
And
for
I
you.
will
Yeah.
see it. I will see it, but you won't. I mean, I will feel it, but you won't see it. So
Mhm.
anyway, just play around with it and you can figure out. But I tell you, if you do a regular razor once a week, at least for me, it really gets it so close that it stays even softer during the week. So there you go,
Mhm.
Emily.
I'll let him know.
So some advice there. Gmail, mine is very fast, unfortunately. Some guys have. I mean, if I wanted to grow a beard, it would take like 6 weeks for me to get just a decent cover. Whereas some people could have a beard in 3 days. So Gmail user, I guess you are a 3 day man. I'm hoping you're a man. I'm hoping you're not a woman and you have a beard. If so, that's even more of a difficult situation. Lucky you. And SF Kim says, "Thank you so much. God bless you." Oh, what was he or she saying? Thank you so much.
I were responding for us talking about the where to find the app.
Ah, that's it. Oh, and dad joke from Rusty. Why did the blind circumciser get fired? Oh gosh, I'm not even going to read the punchline because this is a PG-13 live stream here, Rusty. Trying to get me in trouble here. And so let me see. Did we cover all of our
We
topics?
talked about
Oh,
re-
hoping for the best, which is I think a good way to round
close things
things out
off.
and
Yeah,
close
of
things off
course.
for the next 10, 15 minutes. This all being said, everything that we're talking about is acknowledging that things may not always go your way. Not may not always go your way, are not always going to go your way. Of your many dreams in life, some of them will succeed, some of them will come true, some of them, I would say more than not, will not.
Mhm.
More than not, is that a double negative? More dreams than you think will not come true. But if you have enough of them, you're certain to make some of them come true. And
Yeah.
we need to focus on the one, and it's so hard. Focus on the ones that did come true and be proud
Mhm.
of those dreams that did come true, and don't be focusing on the ones that for whatever reason didn't work out. Easier said than done, and I struggle with this too, and Emily will struggle with this in the years to come. And Rusty, I know you know what I'm talking about. You're in my age group more or less, but we keep pushing forward
Yeah.
despite everything, and we want to hope for the best, and that's where we got to come down with. I often talk about seeds of hope. The idea being, just like a farmer doesn't plant one seed and just hope that it blossoms, you're going to plant multiple seeds across multiple varieties, across multiple fields. And the odds are that some of them are going to bloom into great produce, wheat, fruit, vegetables, flowers. But it doesn't happen if you're not constantly planting new seeds, because otherwise, if that one seed that you plant today doesn't bloom, you're devastated. And
Mhm.
so you're older
That's a
than me.
beautiful analogy.
Thank you. It's a Monroe Mann original. I call it Seeds of Hope. And so I always remind people, every day, no matter rain or shine, happy or sad, you got to plant 3 to 5 seeds of hope every single day, and get
Mhm.
into the habit of, no matter how you're feeling or what happened, plant seeds of hope, because then later the odds are something is going to bloom.
Yeah.
But even as I'm talking about this, I'm reminded of the fact that even farmers, not every one of their seeds is going to bloom and blossom. And they don't cry and get miserable because some of their seeds didn't. No, they take joy in the fact that the other seeds did bloom. And this goes back to gratitude. So
Yeah.
we need to be grateful for the seeds that did bloom. We'll come back to that in a moment.
Yeah.
Emily, did you want to jump in?
Totally. I think something to add to that is ways to be planting seeds, and it reminded me of something that I had, I think, gotten from a book, where it was the idea of getting 1% better every single day. You don't need to be at your 100% all the time to do well, but sometimes just increasing a little bit, you'll end up finding yourself in a much better position than before. And that definitely ties back to what you were talking about, planting your seeds, but just in a different way. And maybe that might involve going to the gym or spending a little extra time studying, but being able to improve yourself just 1% in the last day will lead to you planting those seeds that you were talking about.
Adding to that, they've proven that a 1% improvement has something like a 5 to 10% increase in happiness. and
Yeah.
self-esteem. And you don't have to have these massive, like, you think that you need to win the gold in order
Mhm.
to feel good about yourself. But even if you win the bronze, or even if you just compete, that too will have an effect on improving. So just take that 1%. Don't try to, you don't have to become the superstar
Yeah.
tomorrow to be good
Totally.
about yourself. Just that 1%, as Emily said. Gmail says, oh, yeah, yes, so true. I'm older than Moners. Exactly. Rusty says, a clean dad joke. All right, yeah, famous last words. What do you call a herd of sheep falling downwardly, diagonal downhill? A landslide. That, that's a good one, Rusty. That's a good one. A landslide. 5% increase in dopamine hit.
Ooh,
That
wow,
yeah,
yeah.
1% increase in, so that is true. So I want to remember, hoping for the best. How do we hope for the best? Part of me is by planting seeds. If you plant seeds, at least you have something to hope for, because you
Mhm.
think, oh, maybe the, you know what's funny? I didn't. I should. I just came up with a new exercise that maybe we could do to help.
Mhm.
Just as you write down your gratitude every day, maybe you should keep a daily seeds of hope journal. And every
Hmm.
day you write down, what are the 5 seeds that you planted today? And then
Mhm.
you can look, whenever you're feeling depressed, you can look back over all of these seeds that you've planted. And I think that would have a impact on your mood by reminding you, oh, that's right, I have this going for me. Oh yeah, there's the
Mhm.
possibility that this could happen. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. So maybe that's what you guys can do is, if you're wondering, how can I think of hope for the best, keep this journal and try to
Mhm.
keep track of all these things, all of these seeds that could potentially bloom. And because I find it very annoying when people just tell me, hey, keep your shit up. Hey, stop moping around. Be positive. When you're in a miserable mood,
That's not what you want to
you don't
hear.
want to hear, you'll find another girl.
Yeah,
You'll get another guy. Hey, you're better than him anyway. Or, yeah, that may all be true, but it doesn't help.
I
Whereas
agree.
we need to, let me see the comment here. If we just compete and even not one, a bare minimum, we're bound to have feelings of, wait. If we just compete and even not want to, can you understand?
One might be win. So if we just compete and even not win a bare minimum, we are bound to have feeling of giving up. I'm not sure
Yeah,
actually.
Gmail
Maybe
user.
Gmail you can explain or
Yeah,
expand on your
we,
statement.
we want to understand exactly what you're talking about. And Rusty's saying hello from Brisbane, Australia. I thought, wait a second, Rusty, are you in Australia again, or did you go back to New Zealand? You seem to be traveling a lot. Gmail says, even if a bronze, but you said, but we're bound to have a feeling of giving up. Do you mean the opposite? We're bound to have a feeling of not giving up. I think what you're trying to say is motivational, but it's a little,
Coming out a little odd.
it's coming out just a little bit
Oh,
confusing.
did I freeze? There we
Nope,
go.
you're back.
Okay, awesome.
You're back. I think that idea of hoping for the best, it doesn't serve you well to be negative.
Yeah,
It
being
doesn't,
pessimistic ends up making you feel worse about yourself.
and there's a time and place for being pessimistic in the sense that it helps you war game what could go wrong. So therefore, you can maybe come up with contingency plans to help
Mhm.
avoid catastrophe. But why waste all your time thinking about how everything's going to go wrong when you can think about how things could go well? And
Yeah.
that could be another exercise that we could all do in our little journals here. Write 5 ways that today could work out well. Or
Mhm.
what are 5 ways this year could work out well? For example, this year we have about 5 months left, 4 to 5 months left in 2025. For me, what are 5 ways this year could work out well? Breakdiving could find a champion who ends up sharing on social media, and we get a huge success bump. Two, we do get a grant, and we get approved for a grant. we get even more YouTube subscribers, and they end up joining our community. I find great solutions to helping my mom, and everything's a lot easier. And number five, uh, career-wise, things work out perfectly, better than I could ever expect. And you
Mhm.
know, and you can just see it in my voice as I'm talking about it. It feels good. It makes you
Yeah.
feel, you know what? That it could it happen? Just as likely as the negative, right?
Yeah.
I could talk about, oh, we're not going to get approved for a grant. My career is going to be a failure for the next thing. Or I could say it could turn out brilliantly. It could turn out great. And I think life is depressing enough. Society's depressing enough. People depress us enough. Why do we contribute ourselves? I don't know why we're our own worst enemies, but we all are.
Yeah. It
So,
is rough.
Emily, your thoughts?
No, yeah, I think definitely just staying positive is hard, harder than just saying it, but there are ways to make yourself feel better about yourself, and just taking that 1% can make you feel so much better without even realizing.
Beautiful. Gmail says, never mind. Hey, Gmail, we totally got what you're saying, and we were all motivated and inspired by your words.
Thank you for your kindness, Gmail.
Brawl MMA. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you again. Just got promoted as a developer in my organization just by deep learning.
Awesome.
Brawl, tell us more. Are you a web developer, a deep learning developer, what a AI developer? What exactly? How did you get promoted? And give us a little bit more details. We'd love to know. Question: how can we help Moners with his mom? Rusty, keep my spirits up. And I think just reminding me day to day, I think it's overwhelming. I think when anyone is caring, they say caregiver burnout is one of the biggest forms, like the most depressing
Yeah.
things anybody could do, and that's why I found a Alzheimer's group, and
Mhm.
we now we're starting to meet on Zoom,
Oh, that's
and it's nice.
awesome.
We're all. It's very unique because I could talk to my friends and colleagues, but all they can say is, "Oh, that sounds tough." Oh, we're here. It's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? That's what's happening with me,
Yeah,
and then blah blah blah. And it's just nice to go, okay, I'm not alone anymore. We're more in this.
totally.
Um, what is the
And
situation? Oh, Rusty, I don't want to talk about that too publicly on here. But Rusty's talking about the situation with Brawl. Yeah, we would
yeah.
like to know your situation more.
Monroe, I
And
was just gonna say I have to head out because I've got another meeting, but it was a pleasure having everyone, and thank you guys for listening and for all the likes.
absolutely, Emily, have a
Have a
great
nice day,
one. See you
everyone.
next time.
Bye bye.
And guys, I'll stay on here for just a 2 more minutes and finalize our live stream. And so, Gmail, great to have you here. Rusty, great to have you here. And Brawl MMA, good to have you here. I'm super excited about your promotion, guys. Please double click the screen. Maybe we can get a couple of more likes before we sign off today. And I guess that's the end of our live stream today. And keep your spirits up. Push forward. Let's not give up. Remember the Break Divers Creed: no rules, no excuses, no regrets. And if you haven't, please visit the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download our mobile app, Break Diving. Break diving. Remember, don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface. Dive in and make your own big breaks in life. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye, SF Kim. Thank you so much. Bye, Rusty. Bye, Gmail. Bye, Brawl. Bye, everybody. See you later. Break diving.